Good afternoon, YouTube. Glyn here at the Retro Loft. I thought I'd just do a small video because there's been a couple of little additions to the collection, which you might find interesting. The first ones were these two plushies, Mario and Yoshi, about 15 quid from Sainsbury's, so they're quite cool. They just sit on the shelf nicely. I also picked up this Mario Star, which actually lights up. It's not an official branded thing, it's off of AliExpress actually, but yeah, that's quite cool. I recently rolled the dice on the CX lottery and bought two games. One of them's gone back. I'll explain a bit more in a second. The other game was the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. I ordered it once before from CX and it was in terrible condition. Well, basically I had one turn up and I've got to be honest, when I first opened it, I was a bit worried it was repro because it's in such nice condition. There's no real wear on the box. It's got the right sort of colour interior. It's not that sort of white, bright, sort of light white colour that you get on repros. It looks legit to me. The stamp seal looks right for Nintendo. The cartridge is in very nice condition. You've got the little the indentation number, and again the manual is just amazing. And again, like I say, I was a bit worried it might be repro, but I think it's legit. It looks legit to me. I've asked someone else to have a look at it who sort of collects games as well. He seems to think it looks legit to him, so that's a fairly recent pickup. I was very happy with. So then that leads me on to the one that went back. I drove down to a CX a little bit further away from me, because they basically had a copy of F-Zero. It's a little sun faded on the top edge there. I think I might be able to retro bright that back to the way it should be to match the sort of rest of the cartridge. The rest of it's not so bad, but again, I've seen some really terrible ones out there. For £8, I thought I'd drive down there to see what it was like. So I went and picked that up, and the reason for picking that up is I've got F-Zero, as you've probably seen in other videos, which is in very nice condition. The box is in great condition. This was an eBay purchase, and what I didn't notice at the time when I picked it up from eBay was it actually, didn't see on the listing, it actually had the wrong cartridge. It's got the European variant in it. So obviously now that comes out, that goes in, and at least that makes that CIB to what it should be. I then obviously traded in the other game, which was Mario Land 2 and 6 gold coins, which in itself, the box was okay. Well, I say okay, the front of the box was okay. The back had a bit of sort of sellotape across the back of it, which I wasn't really keen on. But ultimately, the reason why I really sent it back is there was a bit of a tear sort of in the bottom part of the manual sort of coming up on the Game Boy manual. And it had the wrong cart. Again, it had the EUR cart in it and not the UKV cart. They did have one, so I thought, well, I'd go down and see if that one was any good. But they didn't have the UKV one. It turned out to be the European variant again as well. So I decided not to buy that, and I just said, can I just have a refund? So I was driving on the way back, and I'd been asked to do an errand by my folks. So I popped in to see them, and on the way back I thought, well, shall I go into Dartford? I'd already looked on the CX app. They didn't really have anything I wanted, but you never know, sometimes they might have had something in. So I thought, well, I'll go and have a look. And there is another little place nearby. So I popped in and had a look. They had Excite Bike on the NES, which I'm also collecting for, as you know. That had a bit of a ripped label. Oh, talking about ripped label, the CEX down in Chatham, where I picked the F-Zero up and traded the other game in, they also had a Castlevania, the first Castlevania on the NES, which is obviously considered a bit of a classic, and I was very tempted to pick that up, but again, it had a ripped label on the front. You're sort of like lifting in a corner. I suppose you might have been able to stick it back down, but I got to be honest, I couldn't really be bothered to go down that road, to be honest. So I left that. So anyway, on the way back, as I say, I went into Dartford, and round the corner from the CX in Dartford is a very cool little independent comic book sort of collectibles type store. They have a few video games. It's mainly sort of comics and and sort of like Warhammer and Pokemon cards and things like that. But they do gaming related stuff as well. So I sort of stuck my head in there because I found a few bits in there in the past. So anyway, I went in there and I found a bit of a classic on the NES. It wasn't a game that I really was looking for or even wanted, but it is considered a bit of a classic for the system. So you kind of got to have it, really. I paid 27 for this, and it was Battletoads, as you can see, in very nice condition. Yeah, I picked that up for 27. It turns out CEX sell it for about 28, 29 or something like that. There isn't any in stock. And then when I went on eBay, I had a look on eBay the other night, and you know, like just loose cart on its own, people are asking. Well, there's some really cheap ones for like 25, but they're like totally got the label missing, or like really, one was really damaged. So, you know, one in this condition was listed at like 47 upwards. So, you know, I think all right, you know, and I think I've done all right with that. And then I picked up one other item, just sort of like a shelf filler. Really, it's not a gaming item per se, but it was a Japanese import figure of the awesome Bowser. He's pretty decent. He's a good sort of 5 inches deep, I guess. And it came in this box. Obviously, I asked if I could have a quick look at it. As you can see a Japanese writing, so obviously imported figure. There's 4 other ones by the looks of it in the collection. I'll sort of keep an eye out, see if they get them in. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. They do have a few. This was the only sort of Mario related one that I could see. So overall, I think it was quite a good weekend, really. Swapping this cartridge, or getting this cartridge to swap for the wrong one, picking up this Bowser. He's got a new home on the gaming shelves, and obviously picking up Battletoads, which, as I say, is a bit of a classic for the system. So yeah, altogether a good weekend, and there's just a little update. Hope you're all having a good weekend.